in transition. That was the one that was initially called a 2, then was a 3. I mean, this guy is on fire using screens. Doesn't matter. When a guy starts shooting the ball like that, you run 1, 2 guys at him. Look at his numbers. 3 minutes and 11 seconds here. Boston could go down 0-2. Defending world champion Chicago on an 8-0 run. Can you imagine what the United Center is going to be like on Thursday night if the Chicago Bulls go home up 2-0?
Allen in a congested lane. Miller grabs onto the ball along with Ray, and they're playing a little twister with 2:54 to play here in the fourth quarter. And Doug, let's go back 23 years ago to number 23, who against this same Boston team in the old building put in 63, and they lost, did Chicago in double OT.
Well, Ben Gordon, if he can get 27 in the next 3 minutes. Just to put that in perspective. Going, you don't know. Just to put that in perspective.
What did that quote of Larry Bird say? God was disguised as Michael Jordan in that game.
That's a year, remember, he had broke his foot and missed about 60 games that season, came back late. But if Chicago wins tonight, it'll be 2 straight wins over Boston in the playoffs. Never before beating Boston in a playoff game. That's hard to believe in it with all the great teams that the Bulls would never have beaten them in a playoff game.
Celtics just picked up a delay of game because they couldn't get straight on the tossed ball. Gordon, Rose, Noah, Miller, Salmons, the Chicago 5. Pearson, Allen, Rondo, Davis, and Perkins, the Boston 5. Allen watches Gordon. A 2. Rebound, Pierce. That is his 8th rebound. Pierce doubled. Allen quickly on him was Rose. Rondo. Going in. Nice basket in there by Big Baby. He's got 24. Rondo picks up his 14th assist.
Still a ton of game left. You don't want to start shooting a bunch of threes if you're Boston. Drive that ball inside like you did. Get a layup. Keep putting the pressure on the Bulls.
Rose. Miller. Knocked away. Pierce knocked him off balance. A breakaway for Rondo. Rose the other way, trying to defend. And Rajon Rondo's got 17. Busted the line of Kevin Garnett. And just like that, it's a 1-point game with under 2 to play.
And what did Rudy Tomjanovich say when he was the coach of the Houston Rockets? Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion. Celtics are not going to go easy. Look very bleak. An 8-0 run by Chicago. Back-to-back baskets by Boston. We have a 1-point game coming out of timeout. Can Chicago execute and get a hoop?
Lifted an ankle. That resets our game right there with each team having a foul to give.
See, if I'm Chicago, you know that they're going to really be locked into Ben Gordon. How about getting that ball in the middle of the floor? Rondo's got a little bit of a gimpy ankle. And go back to that screen roll with Derrick Rose. Let him go to work in the middle of the floor. And then if Boston helps, you can kick out to a shooter. But let's see if they get that ball in the hands of Derrick Rose and let him go to work like he did in game 1.
Rose just 10 points. Gordon. Inside over Allen. What a beautiful teardrop put in. He's got 38, 12 of 22.
Boy, Ben Gordon has answered the call. Every time Vinny Del Negro has come out and called his number. Tough shots. Look at this. They drive him down to the baseline. Gets those shoulders square. Look at this floating shot. Looks like he's almost behind the backboard. You know how difficult that shot is, but and Kevin, when shooters get it going, that basket just looks so big.
One night it's Rose with 36. Tonight, game 2, it's Gordon with 38 for the Chicago Bulls.
Well, sometimes being young helps. It gives you fresher legs, and sometimes you don't realize really how big the games are. You just sort of play, and that's what Chicago's doing right now. They're just playing.
There's no pressure on the Bulls coming into this series.
That's what they said. They're playing with the house money right now.
Rondo weaving. Finding Davis into Noah with a hard foul. Noah will pick up his 4th. Chicago now out of fouls to give. Noah, a rugged player. Davis will be at the line with his 24 points. All right, national coverage of the NBA playoffs continues. Tuesday, NBA TV. Game 2 of the Rockets and Blazers. Coverage at 10 o'clock Eastern. Then Friday on ESPN, it's Game 3 of the Cavaliers-Pistons, followed by Game 3 of the Blazers and Rockets, coverage starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Also Friday, ESPN2, Game 3, Magic-Sixers, coverage begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Sunday, ABC Game 4, Celtics and Bulls, followed by Game 4, Cavs and Detroit. Coverage at 11:30 Eastern Time. Doug and I tomorrow will be in Cleveland for Game 2, the Pistons and Cavaliers. A minute and a half left in regulation with Chicago by 1. Rose to Noah, into Davis. Rebound by Rondo. Noah 6 of 9.
That's a great job, though. They really jumped out and forced that ball to go to Noah.
Rondo picked up by Rose. Pierce a screen.
Paul Pierce got to come get that ball.
Rondo. Noah on the mismatch on him. This is for the lead.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
The injured Kevin Garnett has been inside that huddle all night long and on the bench all night long in Game 2 for Boston.
Yeah, Game 1, he started out at halftime. They were down 8. He stayed in the locker room the second half. Just couldn't watch. And then tonight, he has been out there very animated the whole night. This is what you want if you're Chicago. You got Joakim Noah with a hand in the face making Rondo shoot a jump shot against the shot clock. And you see the intensity and energy of Garnett. Can the Bulls find a hoop here? Can Boston get a stop?
Bulls led by 5 with 3:13 left. Celtics on an 8-2 run. Rose is picked up by Rondo. Gordon running off that baseline. He's picked up by Davis. Allen back on Gordon. For 2. He's got 40. He's got 40 points and 23 shots. 40 points in 43 minutes for Ben Gordon.
That's good defense. I mean, you just force him to make a tough shot going to his left.
Rondo with a triple-double, 14 assists over Rose. Rondo. Tapped by Allen. Reeled in by Rondo. Outside Allen for 3. Oh! Ray Allen with 27, but here is Gordon moments ago with the beautiful 2.
Kevin, what we talked about before the game, one of the keys was the shooters. How about this shooter has 40, and Ray Allen, offensive rebounds again. Rondo, and how open is he? Knocks it down the Boston bench. How important this game is to try to even this series at 1-1 going back to Chicago. Ray Allen had 2 in the first half, 25 here in the second half. He has gone to work. These 2 incredible shooters from the University of Connecticut.
All right, Doug, take us inside that Chicago huddle. Neither team with a foul to give.
Well, it's been Ben Gordon out of every timeout, so I'm sure that Vinny Del Negro is going to try to draw up a play. The one thing, if you're Boston, you've got to chase Ben Gordon off a 3. You cannot give up a 3. A 3 could beat you. A 2 only ties you. So you've got to be aware of driving him. You don't want to give up any 3-point plays. Right now, if you're Boston, try to get a defensive stop, but defend that 3-point line. And don't fall asleep on Brad Miller. Brad Miller can step out and knock that shot down, and that's why he's in the game for his shooting.
3 lead changes in the last 41 seconds of this one.
You're telling me this is the first round of the playoffs, the second game? How good is this?
They trap Gordon. This is for the tie.
Oh.
At 12.3. Gordon had 2 guys with their hands right in his face. Gordon has put in 42 points in 44 minutes. 14-point fourth quarter. Davis was right there. Allen was right there. How bulletproof is Ben Gordon? A sensational game tonight. Ties it at 115.